has defeated the notorious Conor McGregor.
Dana, 60 G's, baby!
This leg's broken.
He wasn't just a fighter, he was a global phenomenon, a plumber's apprentice from Dublin who became the biggest star in MMA history, the first to hold 2 UFC titles simultaneously. But at the height of his fame, the very traits that made him adored would also begin to unravel everything he had built. This is the story of Conor McGregor, his meteoric rise, and the choices that led to his fall. Conor Anthony McGregor was born on July 14, 1988 in Dublin's working-class suburb of Crumlin. His father was a taxi driver and his mother worked in laundry, not the background of a future superstar. From a young age, McGregor displayed a restless energy playing soccer and dabbling in boxing at the Crumlin Boxing Club. It was here under head coach Philip Sutcliffe that his athletic potential first emerged.
Reigning featherweight champion of the world, the notorious Conor McGregor!
But like many fighters, the road to greatness wasn't straightforward. After secondary school, McGregor trained as a plumber, a steady job, but one he abandoned to chase his dream of becoming a professional fighter. In the early days of his career, McGregor fought in local promotions, losing only 2 bouts in his first 4 years and earning attention with lightning-fast knockouts. By 2012, he was a cage-warriors welterweight and lightweight champion, a 2-division feat that put the UFC on a notice. Ultimate Fighting Champion. By 2013, Conor McGregor's name was on Dana White's radar, and soon enough he was in the UFC. He rapidly became known not just for his precision striking and powerful left hand, but for something else entirely, his personality. McGregor's swagger was larger than life. He backed up his words with knockouts. He was charismatic, controversial, and impossible to ignore.
107 decibels. Sinead O'Connor. Conor McGregor, the Fighting Irish.
In December 2015 at UFC 194, McGregor made history by knocking out Jose Aldo, ending the featherweight title fight in just 13 seconds, the fastest title fight knockout in UFC history. McGregor was no longer just a top contender, he was a champion.
Conor relaxed and smiling. Oh! Just slapped him! Champion of the world!
By 2016, he shook the world again, claiming the lightweight title to become the first UFC fighter to hold belts in 2 weight classes simultaneously.
I've ridiculed everyone on the roster. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
His star was now global, not just a combat sport icon, but a bona fide cultural phenomenon. The business of notoriety. As McGregor's fame skyrocketed, so did the opportunities outside the cage. He wasn't just a fighter anymore, he was a brand. In 2018, McGregor launched Proper No, 12 Irish whiskey, named after his Irish heritage and marketed with his larger-than-life persona. The brand was an instant hit, eventually surpassing many established whiskeys globally and helping him secure a spot on Forbes' list of highest-paid athletes in 2020 with earnings around $180 million. He also appeared in film, television shows, and high-profile sponsorships, a level of commercial success few MMA fighters had ever seen. But fame, as we say, can be a double-edged sword. The Mayweather moment.
He is fucked.
The defining crossover moment came in 2017, a boxing match against undefeated legend Floyd Mayweather. This wasn't just a fight, it was a spectacle, one of the most lucrative combat sports events ever. McGregor lost by TKO in the 10th round, but the payday was staggering, estimated at $100 million for him alone. But there was a cost. The Mayweather fight pulled McGregor away from MMA at a time when he was still at his peak. It boosted his wealth, but also diluted the hunger that once filled his training and focus. When the image crumbles. With fame came headlines that had little to do with sport and everything to do with spectacle and controversy. In 2018, McGregor's feud with Khabib Nurmagomedov boiled over. A promotional event erupted in violence when McGregor and his team attacked a UFC bus in New York, injuring fighters and leading to his arrest on multiple charges including assault and criminal mischief.
What the fuck? Fuck it!
You alright, Mike? She's cut.
Then became a series of public incidents, smashing a fast phone in Miami in 2019. Accusations of sexual misconduct in Corsica and at the 2023 NBA Finals, and confrontations in bars and nightclubs that kept McGregor in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. These events didn't just make headlines, they chipped away at his reputation, turning AVE into concern and admiration into doubt. The worst defeats. In the Octagon, McGregor's fall was equally dramatic. After a triumphant return knockout against Donald Cowboy Cerrone in 2020, McGregor's next fights painted a different picture. In 2021, he lost twice to Dustin Poirier, with the second fight ending in a horrific broken leg, a visible and career-alternating injury. His style, once dynamic and unpredictable, seemed slowed. Analysts claim that time away from focused MMA camps, excess outside the gym, and distraction from his lifestyle hurt his performance more than any opponent could. Then, in 2025, McGregor accepted an 18-month suspension from UFC's anti-doping policy for missing mandatory testing, further delaying any chance of a competitive return. How it all fell apart. So what caused the fall of the man who once seemed unstoppable? It wasn't a single fight. It wasn't one headline. It was a combination of fame, ego, distraction, and unrestrained behavior. The traits that made him irresistible, confidence, bravado, charisma, became the same forces that undermined his discipline, distorted his public image, and fractured his legacy. He became a commodity, marketed, monetized, mimified, and when the me fluttered, so did the man. A cautionary tale. Conor McGregor will always be one of the most polarizing figures in combat sport history. He chased MMA forever, for better and worse. His rise inspired millions from humble beginnings to believe they too could reach the summit. His fall reminds us that talent without restraint can be its own undoing. Whenever history remembers him as a legend or a cautionary tale, depends on who you ask. But one thing is certain, no fighter in MMA has ever walked the line between glory and controversy quite like Conor McGregor. If you want more deep dives into the stories behind the greatest athletes and their untold journeys, hit subscribe and ring the bell, and tell us in the comments, is Conor McGregor's legacy tarnished forever, or does he still have a comeback left in him?